headlines.
Thank you very
Josie.
much.
Great to see you.
Hello.
Well, have you been in since we last saw you? What have you been doing?
Oh, I've been here, there, and everywhere. Been up to London. I must sponsor the trains going up and down from London. So,
do you?
Yeah, there every week. Went to Liverpool on the weekend. I watched the big boxing match up there. Yeah, I've been about.
And you mentioned to me that you were on the Alan Titchmarsh show.
I tell you what.
He's cute, you said.
He's really, really cute in real life. I've never looked at Alan Titchmarsh like that, but in real life, he's proper suave.
He's got a real suave feel about him.
Yeah, but I never ever would have thought it. And then I met him, and I just every time he must think I'm a right weirdo because every time I talk to him, I go blood red and I stumble and I stutter and I just don't know what I'm doing.
Well, we'll have to get him up on the show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right, we're aiming for that. You're listening to 12 o'clock show with Liv and Chrissy on BBC Radio Bristol. Well, you know, every week, these headlines in the papers this week. So, Detective Chrissy, what have you found this week?
Yes, Detective Chrissy, yes, here.
What accent is that?
I have no idea. I have been trawling and I have found this one. Now, commuters who are happy to annoy. So, if you're reading this on the train, if you're listening to this on the train, prepare yourself for a shock because there's a good chance you're one of the most annoying people in the carriage. Researchers have found that 8 in 10 of us display annoying habits that drive our fellow travellers up the wall. And these range from, the one with the thumping loud music and forcing your way in while others are getting off. I was thinking about this. I think my one is I go in the corner because I like looking out the window and then I want to get up and down every 5 minutes.
I won't go to the loo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be a pest. There's no doubt that would be a pest.
I think I'm a pest.
But when I was reading it, I thought, well, I did once fall asleep. I mean, I've many times fallen asleep. And I was on a long working day in London coming back to Bristol. I fell asleep. Sort of head on the window, the table in the middle, 4 people around, woke up, dribble all down the side of my mouth. Oh, no. I was so embarrassed. I couldn't look. I could not look up. I was just dripping. What happens? I mean, you don't fall asleep on the train. You can't, can you?
Oh, I have. I've fallen asleep on a train many a time. But I tell you what, one time I was about to get on the tube and I had a broken arm. And I tell you what, not one person moved out of the way.
Did they not?
In London, not one person moved. They all barged me out of the way with a broken arm. I thought, where's your compassion here?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Not a lot.
When you're in a compassion, no.
Bit short on compassion on the tube in London.
Yeah.
I found this headline. It's been in the news a lot this week. How dare a shop assistant in a particular chemist smack my little girl? And it's about this woman was in a chemist and her young daughter knocked some items off a shelf in the branch, and the pharmacist smacked the little 3-year-old because she kicked over a bottle. And the woman, the mother, offered to pay and apologised, and then the shop assistant smacked the child. And I was absolutely shocked when I read this. No one, in my opinion, has a right to hit a child, let alone my child. I mean, they just wouldn't get near my children. And the mother allegedly apologised and offered to pay. Now, to me, we've got a really bad attitude to children. I know in Spain, they're more friendly to children. If children are having a tantrum, they know 3 and 4-year-olds get really bored in shops and they talk to them, they're friendly to the mother. You don't put a mum down. They're struggling. They're trying to do the shopping. You want to be a bit kinder. I just found this outrageous, actually.
Absolutely outrageous. Imagine if someone put their hands on my child, somebody else, I would be raging. I think she's handled it really, really well. Very well.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I'd do if somebody put their hands on my child.
You might want to put your hands on them.
You might want to put your hands on them, definitely. I absolutely don't condone this at all, and I agree with everything you said. But I can't. I mean, oh God, we must have all had those moments. You have a visitor, a friend, they come round, the annoying child, the spoiled, they're wrecking your home. They're doing the spoiled brat. They're doing awful things to your cat, and the parent is sort of saying things like, "Darling, don't hurt the cat." And you're thinking, if you do that to my cat one more time, I'm going to do something quite violent to you. It's that sort of like. So I don't condone it, but I can.
But at least you restrained yourself from actually doing it. That's the thing. You might think it, you might feel it, but you don't act on it.
Absolutely.
Luckily. You're listening to 12 o'clock show with Liv and Chrissy on BBC Radio Bristol. We're back on our music theme today to ask you, what do you know about song titles? Because you know an awful lot. Every week you text us and you email us in with great inspiration, songs that we've never heard before, or we may just remember, so it's wonderful, you can call us on 0845 949 or text us. I'm sorry, I got the number completely wrong. I'm going to do it again.
Do it again.
0845 905 and 949 or text us on 81333 and start the text with Bristol, or you can tweet us at BBCRB. It's a direct line to us and we really look forward to hearing from you. Now, I don't know about you, but I think we're spoilt here in the West Country for musical talent. It must be something to do with the air. We have a singing. I think it's something to do with the air and the water. Do you not?
I think, yes.
We've got loads of talent.
We have.
We've got singer-songwriter Chloe Foy and her band on in about 4 minutes' time. So do stay listening. But first we've got Don't Look Back in Anger. Or in the case of this woman who hit this child, Look Forward in Anger.
Yes, indeed.
This is Oasis. In Anger, Oasis. I love that song. I love that, Chrissy. It's just a
I can see
great
you
song.
in the stadium.
I was having a moment there.
Yeah,
I really
having
like
a
that.
stadium
Bit of
moment.
oomph. Josie.
Oh yeah, I've been
got a
detective.
we've been looking for those headlines.
I have. I found a great one here. First name terms. When you're answering a phone call, a cold call, in the middle of dinner, is it acceptable for them to call you by your first name?
What do you think?
Now, I used to do this for a living.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, for many years, and I was brilliant at my job, and I always called them by their first name. But I think I got away with it because I'm Bristolian. I think it all depends on your accent.
Do you think so?
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So people are like, what did you call people? Just friendly, like hi?
All right, Val? You all right, mate?
And they,
Need some
okay,
insurance,
because
do
it's
you?
a warm accent.
So you bring them in.
Ah. Well, I have to say, on a call, when they ring me up, I know they're getting really fed up with me when they start calling me madam. They go, madam? And after the fifth madam, I know they're absolutely furious and they're trying to keep the lid on by calling me madam. And I get really ratty saying, don't call me madam. And they go, madam. You know that one?
I do know that one, indeed. And it's not just names, is it? It's when someone you have no idea who they are, they ring you up and they say, how are you? Are you having a nice day? And you think, it's none of your business.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I'm having a terrible day.
I'm having a bad day.
It's none of your business anyway. Go away.
Do you know what you ought to do, Chris? You ought to say, no, let me tell you really how my day is.
Exactly.
Actually, you want to know how my day is? I'm going to let you know and just really go for
Exactly.
it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for those of you who do this job.
I
You're going to
know.
hate me. I really apologise.
Yeah, I do as well.
You're listening to 12 O'Clock Show with Living Chrissy on BBC Radio Bristol. We're back on our music theme, asking you today to tell us, inspire us, even educate us, what songs have days in the title, days of the week in the title of the song. And I've had 8 days a week from you, David Knoll. Thank you so much. And you write in your text, ha. What's that? Ha. You got it all in there. Ha. Ha. And we've got Kazzy Bear near Rotherham, and he says Calendar Girls. Do you think that works? Calendar Girls? Do you think he's kind of pushed it?
He's pushing it a little bit, but it's interesting.
We'll accept that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kazzy Bear. You can call us on 0845 905 949 or text us on 81333 and start the text with Bristol. Or you can tweet us at BBCRB. We always love to hear from you, and it's a direct line to us. Now, our live lounge today, we have singer-songwriter Chloe Foy. Originally from Gloucestershire, she started her musical journey at the age of 4 and was enrolled in Gloucester Academy of Music, classically trained in cello and piano and playing with orchestras. She became interested in folk music and learnt the guitar and started to write her own music and released a debut EP in 2011. And hi, Chloe, welcome.
Hello.
You've played all over the country.
I have, yeah.
So you play piano, cello, guitar and sing. I mean, that's a pretty big library of music.
It is quite big, yeah.
Is your focus now on singing and guitar?
Yeah, it is. It's now on singing classically and also in the stuff that I'm doing, popular music.
Because it's quite young to learn an instrument at 4, isn't it? Because I was thinking of the piano with little fingers.
It is. I didn't actually pick up an instrument until I was about 8. So I just did kind of rhythm and singing at this place in Gloucestershire where I went. So yeah, but 8's still quite young, I suppose.
And might you combine the music you play now with your classical training in the future? You know, is it a good base, having the knowledge?
It's a really good base to write coherent songs, I suppose. And it would be good to introduce more in the future.
So you could be combining. I mean, you could do big orchestra stuff. You've played in orchestra
I'd love
stuff,
to
haven't
do
you?
big orchestra stuff. Yeah.
Is that something you also would like to work towards?
Yeah, definitely.
And write your own music for? Because that's a lovely mix, isn't it? The sort of folk sound that you do with something classically brought in together, like a mix. Would it
It'd be
work?
great to mix that and just be backed even by a big string section. I'd love that.
Would you? Well, today we've got Harry Smith on violin, so we've got a little bit of string. We've got Roland Palmer on shaker, and what else? What is that instrument? What would you call it? Is it a shaker? Oh, is it? I thought it was a drum, but then I had an idea. Maybe I didn't have it quite right. And you have your shakers on your lap. So we've got drum and shakers.
And a little box.
And a little box.
Fashioned out of...
What's it fashioned out of? We've got a box.
A drum pedal, a bit of foam, and a cardboard box. Dining solution.
So basically, we have
DIY.
a good little band in the studio. So today you're going to do a live song in the middle of the night.
Yep.
So when you're ready, we'd love to hear it.
Okay.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That was Chloe Foy and her backing band, Harry Smith on violin and Roland Palmer on percussion. Now, Chloe, where can people get your music?
On iTunes mainly. I think it might be on Amazon, but I don't want to misinform anyone. So iTunes is the best place to go. I think it's like 99p for that song. We want to get some physical copies of the EP as well. So if we're ever playing any shows and you come along, then that is always nice to have a CD with more
that people
tracks
can
on.
buy. Yeah. And you're going to be playing it in Gloucester in the summer.
Yeah.
At Sport Beat Festival.
At Sport Beat Festival, yeah.
So that's where people can see you locally.
Yeah, locally, I think that's
7th of July.
7th of July, yeah.
Well, we really look forward to seeing you coming back.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having
It's been
us.
lovely to
Yeah,
meet
it's
you.
great.
Meet you.
Loved it.
You're listening to 12 O'Clock Show with Living Chrissy on BBC Radio Bristol. We're back on our music theme, asking you today to tell us and inspire us. What songs have days in the week? Well, hello, Samantha. I love that you put in age 8. So Samantha, age 8. You said last Friday night, Katy Perry, and also you want me to say hello to Josie. She wants me to say hello to you, Josie, because she saw you in Aladdin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the Hippodrome. So maybe you got a little message for her.
Hello, Samantha. How are you, mate?
Thank you so much. And also, I got your name wrong. So Kaz, or I can call you Caroline.
Cassie Bear, I actually know Cassie Bear.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know as a woman, and she let me know. So thank you so much. And she said Saturday night at the movies. So maybe you want to say hello to Cassie.
Hello, Cassie Bear. How are you, love?
Any more of those texts or messages, you can call 0845 905 949 or text us on 81 333 and start the text with Bristol, or you can tweet us at BBCRB. We always love to hear from you, and it's a direct line to us. So do stay listening, but now it's a bit of twisting the night away. Are you ready, Chrissy? Twisting, girl.
Get those hips.
We're going to go.
We're going to go.
Because we've got Josie here. She can get us fit
Yay.
in between with music. Sam.
Let me tell you about a place somewhere up a New York way where the people are so...
You're listening to 12 O'Clock Show with Livy and Chrissy. Now, if you missed the beginning of the show, that would be a real shame.
That would...
Because we've had some great music on. So we're going to say, what a great idea. You can hear it again on BBC iPlayer if you would like. And you can catch up at your own leisure, on your armchair, in bed, chilling out, anywhere you like, really.
On the train, even.
On the train, but
Annoying
with your
people.
headphones in.
Yes.
Well, our returning dishy chef today is Michelin chef Sam Moody. So we can learn. We always learn off our chefs how to make food we don't normally make. Well, I don't make anyway, that's for sure. I do learn things. I
do as
certainly
well.
learn things. But first, it's Rivers of Babylon. And they start to hum.
They start very slowly.
Very slowly.
This is a
Are you
serious
going to hum
song.
along?
No, I'm not
Are you
going to hum along.
Are you singer? Are you
I'm
singer,
going to be
Josie?
annoying all the listeners if I start humming. I'm like a werewolf.
Are you dreadful at humming? I hum out of tune. We are ruining the song.
Sorry.
We are all ruining the song, aren't we? No, I am too.
By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Hey,
Rivers of Babylon, Boney M. You're listening to 12 O'Clock Show with Livy and Chrissy.
BBC Radio Bristol, our dishy chef with the dish of the day.
You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant.
Well, our returning dishy chef today is Michelin star Sam Moody from the Bath Priory Hotel. Now, Sam, I think, has gone hunting wild garlic because he hasn't managed to get here. And he's always early.
He's always early.
So my guess is he's gone down to the river to go get the garlic.
He has.
And to prepare the dish.
He's still out there. He's
still out there. So
he's
Sam,
a hunting. He's a trawling.
So Sam, you sent me the recipe. I know the recipe, and we're going to talk about your recipe. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Now, Sam's recipe is for wild garlic and potato soup.
Oh,
I mean, soup's really important at the moment because it's still really freezing.
I can't get over it.
It is still so cold. You want a bowl of soup, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
And you were saying earlier, Josie, that about making your own soup.
Yeah, they've got these fabulous things now that you just pop all your vegetables in, and you just switch it on. You can pop them in whole, and it would like turn it all into soup for you. These like actual soup makers.
And it's not a man
fabulous.
chef. It's a machine.
Not a man chef. You can do it all on your own.
And something you said earlier, which I thought was a really important point, and about soup, is some of the soups that you get have got sugar in them and over salted, and this way you can decide the sort of soup you want to make, how much salt you want to put in.
Yeah.
Most people don't normally put sugar in soup. It's very rare, isn't it? Unless it's tomato soup.
No, that's right.
No, if you go to the supermarket, because I thought I was being really healthy, picking up all these lovely healthy soups, and then I started reading the food labels of all these soups, and some of them, they put all these health labels on, they've got 8 tablespoons of sugar in. So it's because
you've got to read labels, haven't you? It's so important.
Yeah, but you need your glasses. It's all very well for you, because you know that's when I realised my eyesight I needed glasses for reading, because my arm was not going long enough to read what was on the packet, and then I'd be saying to people, "What's in this? What's in this?"
But it's so true, isn't it? It's always in such tiny print. You do need a magnifying glass.
Or they try and trick you, don't they, by saying, "Oh, there's so many so much sugar and this much soup." So you've got to do the maths. So you're there complicated in the shop. So you're like, "Oh, how much sugar is actually in this?" But
so maybe going
best
to
to make your own.
So this sounds like a really good recipe, but I think you need to eat it with the friends you're hanging out with for the evening, because it's wild garlic, and you know, garlic is strong. But if everyone's at garlic, it's going to be fine because you all smell the same.
It is. That's true. Can I just ask you?
Ask you?
Are you
turning into James Bond?
As a dishy chef this week. I can ask you again.
Are you going to do it in a French accent?
Wild garlic. Now, this is the stuff that you smell when you're out walking in places like Ashton Court. Now, I didn't know you could actually pick and eat that.
Yes, so, you can.
Wow.
And it actually hasn't got the same size bulb as the big garlics we normally get. It's got it looks like a spring onion. And that's what a wild garlic is, and it always grows near watery places, near brooks.
I smell it.
Yeah,
I didn't realise.
That's wild garlic.
It's beautiful, that smell, though, isn't it?
Smell.
So we could go Ashton Court, get some garlic.
I'm off down Ashton Court this afternoon now.
So I'm going to give you the recipe for this. You take 3 good handfuls of wild garlic, large potato, a shallot, garlic clove, so an ordinary garlic clove, pint of milk, pint of water, and a splash of oil. Or a knob of butter, depending on your diet that week. Wash the garlic, heat. We basically put it all in a pan, and he says sweat the shallots and onions. Basically, I call that frying it in just a tiny little bit of oil. You know what I mean? Just a little saute, and you bung it all in together with the butter. Add the potato, cook until the starch. When it gets a bit white, it's released. Add the liquid. Bring to a simmer and cook 15 minutes. Add the garlic leaf and blend in a liquidizer. So that's kind of really simple, isn't it?
It's very simple.
Yeah. It's in fact something I could bring in my flask to work.
Someone gives you a recipe, you think, "Oh, I'm never going to be able to make that. I'm never going to be able to make that." But when you actually go to it, it's so easy, aren't they? All these recipes. It's like.
I know, but they serve them in shishi bowls, and you think, "Ooh, can I do it like that?" I just slop it in a bowl.
That's right, presentation. But one thing that puts me off is
presentation is everything.
when there's a list of ingredients that's as long as your arm, and you think, I just can't be bothered. I cannot be bothered. This is going to cooking take me 10 minutes, but it's going to take me 2 hours at the supermarket. But this, you know,
this is simple.
This is simple. Apart from you've got to go to somewhere like wherever it's legal to pick these.
Yes, actually, I'm really
watch what you're picking now,
I'm
girls.
retracting going to Ashton Court. I retract making that statement, but I'm sure there are other places outside of Bristol where you can pick it in the woods.
Indeed.
And, and just to be very, very clear on that. And the other thing about soup is actually it fills you up, and people don't think that. And I think if you're trying to shed a few pounds, which I always am, especially after the winter, and also last weekend where I seemed to think chocolate and cake had gone out of fashion, and I thought I'm just going to eat it all, and I did. And now this week it's a soup week. Try and shed those pounds.
Yeah.
Now you can get Sam's recipe for wild garlic and potato soup on the Livy and Chrissy presenters page on Radio Bristol website. You're listening to 12 o'clock show with Livy and Chrissy on BBC Radio Bristol. And now it's Dreadlock Holiday 10cc. I think this is Get Your Body Moving again.
I think it is.
Get your body moving.
This is a great fitness show.
It is, because I take this on because last week I did eat a chocolate egg. I own it. I did eat meringue. I did eat salmon à cruette. And I'm suffering.
I was walking down the street, concentrating on trucking right.
Lock Holiday 10cc. Now, do they say on a line on that, I don't like cricket?
They do indeed.
And then they go, I love it.
I love it.
Yeah,
They do.
I just wondered that. I just wasn't sure if I heard that. Well, we're coming to the end of the show. Thank you so much, Josie Gibson. It's been a joy.
Thank you, girls. It's always a joy coming down here to see you both.
Well, you're going to be coming again in the next few weeks, so that's lovely. Thank you, Chloe Foy and her band, Sam Moody, who couldn't be with us, and we'll find out why, for coming in today. And to all of you for your text and calls and tweets. That's all we've got time for today. On next Saturday's show, we've got Dragon's Den Duncan Ballantyne, John Flanagan, Director of St Peter's Hospice, gorgeous Sarah Fisher, and dishy chef Joss Eggleton. So see you then. Don't go away, because it's Saturday Sport Next with Jeff Twentyman.
Across the West on FM, DAB and online.
BBC Radio Bristol.
Now it's